If you're looking for some fun, or if you're looking for a laugh, then welcome to the Valley Folk Podcast.
If you're looking for a bath?
Laugh.
That was nice. I didn't know
Very
John Mayer
nice.
was a fan.
I love
No,
John
I thought
Mayer.
That's
was,
from Justin Kraft.
It sounded like Justin Kraft.
it sounded like Justin
sampling
Kraft to
some
me.
Michael Bublé.
Bublé, yeah, definitely. That's what it was.
Boo-boo.
Can you play it again? That was really pleasant.
Yeah, of course. It's nice and sweet and short.
Short and simple.
Get
and
ready
the
to sway,
point.
everybody. You should
Steve, when
sway.
you're tired, your voice is an octave lower.
oh, absolutely.
course,
when
man.
I'm this tired, I can do a killer Philip Seymour Hoffman impression.
Can you do it right now?
ready?
yeah.
Okay, hang on.
Are you ready to do a podcast?
Hey, I'm Philip Seymour Hoffman.
So-
What the fuck is this? Like, what the fuck?
I loved it.
It's good.
I'm gonna find her and I'm gonna kill her.
Rest in peace, Philip.
Pish!
One of the good ones.
Yeah,
and
of
that's
course.
what brings us to the Valleycast,
Yeah,
everybody.
Guys, welcome to the
Valleycast.
Valleycast. This is a podcast that is run by the Valley Folk, respectively myself, Steve Zaragoza, Lee Newton, Joe Beretta, and Elliot Morgan.
Yeah.
And
Respectfully.
respectfully. And I thank you to not do that.
Hey, what are you doing?
I lost half my headset.
It's gonna happen over here.
Oh, there we go. Let's go. Ding, ding,
Can we
ding.
do a little ding
Don't
ding?
ever, Elliot. Don't ever touch this
didn't
area.
Elliot sound
I'm
like,
back. I'm back. I'm good. I'm good.
Do you guys remember
Just do
that
me a
part
favor.
in-
Look me in the eyes.
Oh, wow.
Don't ever touch this area.
Okay.
Say,
Do you
tell
guys
me one more
remember
time.
that?
Tell me
Hold
one more
on.
time, Steve.
This area here,
Okay. Wow.
don't ever touch it.
Okay.
Don't pull a cable.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Don't pull cables.
Sorry.
Wait, hold
I was
on.
just
Do you
kidding. You're
remember that?
fine. It was
part
over.
in
Are you good
Clueless
over here?
When what's his name is like, I lost my cranberry CD. I gotta go to the quad. That's exactly how you sounded. I lost half my headset. I
lost
gotta
half
pull
my
that
headset.
cord.
Okay, I got.
I gotta go to the quad.
All right, let's listen to this intro one more time so it can get us nice and fun in a
Nice and
nice mood. Yeah.
If you're looking for some fun, or if you're looking for a laugh, then welcome to the Valley Folk Podcast.
I love it. It's
Oh
so
man,
fun.
I
Always
love
looking
that.
for a bath.
That's so fun.
It is really sweet.
When was the last time you guys had a good bath?
I hate baths.
I don't like
You
that.
hate baths?
I hate
'em.
baths.
Wow.
Because you're sitting in your own human soup. It's
Who
disgusting.
fucking cares? Take a shower right after.
So I
That
hate.
seems like superfluous. That seems like
I feel
not
like-
a point.
No, a bath is for relaxation.
Relaxation?
Soaking.
Nah.
I agree.
Showers for cleaning.
I agree.
UTIs happen in the bath.
I mean, I don't know what kind of bath you're taking, honey.
That's-
Nope, that's
all
a
true. She
common.
bathes in
that's a
urine.
very- I bathe, no one else bathes in urine?
I mean, I've heard it's
You
nice.
just
It is nice.
Here's my take on baths. I agree with Lee. You end up taking those bubbles, swiftly turn into dark water, and then you're mental-
Dark water?
Yeah,
You're
'cause-
that dirty?
Yeah,
Wow.
man.
Dark.
Joe's really
I'm
dirty.
a manual labeer.
Yeah, I don't know about
Yeah,
what
he's a
dark
manual.
water.
You couldn't be further from a manual libero.
Oh, no,
Stop.
you couldn't
That's-
be further from a man.
You're right, but you're like right next to me.
So baths can be relaxing, but for the most part, you're usually taking bath in a crappy home bath that is always not big enough for your adult human body. So
Yeah.
you're never truly
That's not
relaxed.
fun. You're
Okay,
right.
so you're just bath shaming now.
It's not good for tall
true.
boys.
It's not good for tall boys because one time I tried to have like a sexy bath time with my husband, and it literally was like a full fucking nightmare because I was just like, ow, ow, no,
Yep.
move.
Yep.
It sounds to me like you guys are doing bath wrong.
Yep.
You need to get a bath bomb.
Now, big baths and hotel rooms are
I
really
contend
nice.
that a bath
Yeah,
can
oh.
be good. It's just typically they are not.
Typically, they
Yeah,
are
okay.
not.
It sounds like an experiential based on the
Sure, like most
it
things.
feels like it's
Preferences.
experiential
Oh, it
based
feels
on
like
the
you're-
bath.
It feels
based
like
on
you're
the
talking
tub.
about your experiences.
but based on the
This
tub.
sounds like a personal.
but
This
based
sounds
on
like
the tub.
this
Sounds like
is,
you're talking about
based
preference.
off of what
Experience
happened
based
in
on
your
the
past.
tub is what I'm saying.
Yes.
Experience based on the tub alone and
Not just tub alone. I mean, it could also be the amount of filth upon yourself.
Whatever
as
you're
well
about to
as
say,
the
can
water.
you flip back into the Philip
Philip
Seymour
Seymour
Hoffman
Hoffman,
impression?
yeah.
I'm saying if you're gonna shit on tubs, I mean, fuck you, man.
Phil?
I'm
No,
gonna find
no,
her and I'm
no,
gonna kill
no.
her.
Shut! Remember when he did that in?
I thought he was amazing in that movie.
Oh, he's so good.
What movie?
Mission Impossible 3, which is my favorite Mission
Oh,
Impossible.
he's
I'm
great.
gonna find her and I'm gonna kill her.
Oh, he's so good in it. And he's so good as the tech guy in, what is it, Dante's Peak?
Yeah.
I
think we
loved.
can, Along Came
what's
Polly.
Along
No, it's
Came Polly.
No, it's
yeah.
Tornado.
Twister.
Twister.
Is that
Yeah,
Along
he's
Came
good.
Polly? Is that the
Yeah.
one with Ben Stiller?
Yeah.
he's real
great
good in
in
that.
that. He's
It's so funny how
fantastic in
Philip
it.
Seymour Hoffman
Boogie
and Jack
Nights.
Black were like always up for the same roles
Yeah,
way back in the
Jax,
day, and
yeah.
they definitely had that kind of rapport. They had that kind of those mannerisms.
mannerisms.
I'm talking mannerisms.
All right, let's
Philip
dive
Seymour
in.
Hoffman
Anyway, this
here.
is a podcast where we all come up with different subjects, topics, and we bring them to the table, and we go around and we discuss all of them. And sometimes they're personal, sometimes they're things we saw on the internet, sometimes they're things that are in the news and the zeitgeist, etc. On this particular episode, I'm going to begin, and my particular topic relates to a stand-up show that I was at last night in Chino Hills, and it was really lovely. And one of
Humble brag.
a person came
brag,
up
Will.
afterward who was a very fine gentleman who's been to the show before, and he started talking to me about us. So this is a narcissistic topic, collectively narcissistic. But
Weird.
he was talking about, I'm going to find him, and I'm going to kill him. I can't do it. That's just Delman.
I'll just pull
Yeah.
up Philip Seymour Hoffman quotes.
Murder Delman.
I'm going to find him, and I'm going to kill him.
Yeah, right. Delman will
Delman
be like,
is
I'm
Lee's
going to
husband.
find him, and I'm going to do a little bit of research on how to dispose of a body.
Yeah.
Do you think we should go with a 10-gallon bag or a 15-gallon bag?
$10 cheaper, so...
If we end up killing again, the $15 bag will go a lot farther.
So we're like, how many people do we want to kill? You have to tell me. Anyway, so this
So
guy,
him.
really cool dude, comes up and listens to the podcast. So thank you very much. And we were talking about Valley Folk, and we were talking about Valley Folk versus Source Fed. And there's kind of like this meta narrative that we've kind of talked about a little bit. But there's like the stress of, first of all, starting a business and all that
Yeah,
stuff,
sure.
and then like the Patreon to make sure there's like funds and we can do this and survive and all that, which is really fun. But then there's also like this meta narrative that happens where there's this constant like, are they as good as what they were, and that kind of like, is it only a nostalgia play, which is something that weighs heavily on me sometimes. And so this guy comes up and we're talking about the Valleycast, we're talking about the certain moments in it that we've all had, and it was really nice because it was just an encouraging conversation, especially at this very kind of like calm before the, actually not calm before the storm, chaos before the storm period that we're in before we launch our show, or your show. And it was just very nice. And I walked away from it feeling better about us and more encouraged than I had previously. And I think he's right. And I think we are better. And I think that it's just going to be shown more and more as we move forward. And I think you were experiencing that yesterday when you were painting the set, the soon-to-be set.
Yes.
Did that conversation make you happy because the talking points focused more on VF as opposed to SF? Like, it wasn't like I loved SourceFed and I'm glad you're together. It was more about, I watched SourceFed, but I want to talk to you about the cool moments that happened in Valley Folk so far.
That was nice. I think also just like the whole thing is like, there's always that thing of like, well, we want to be as big as possible, or like we wanted this to be as good as possible and big as possible. But I always kind of harp on like making sure that as long as whatever it is better than what we have done previously. Not like trying to be like, oh, Rhett and Link does this, and so that's what we're aiming for. Like, all I want to do is hear that we're better than we were. That's it. Like, as long as that
we're
is like
progressing, that we're developing.
and that's the only theme that I mean, obviously I want all the success that comes with being as good as we can be, but I liked that. I like the part where it's like us being showing. There's moments in this where I think we show growth rather than my fear, which is just sort of like, oh,
Placating and pandering and stuff.
right.
Yeah.
Especially because it's like SourceFed was so edited, and this is a very long form thing. So obviously people have to thank you for watching if you're watching, but you have to like watch a lot, So, and the whole idea of this podcast was to sort of just be this sort of loose thing to kind of like establish our dynamic again, and it works really well for that. But to hear that like in these long tangential things, there's like moments of brilliance that are surpassing our previous work, I think is something that I'm personally proud of. And I didn't mean for this to sound as like sincere as it does.
It doesn't.
And I'm
you
sorry.
hate it.
Well, can I break it up with a quote from a Philip Seymour Hoffman film? And
Please,
as a
please,
the voice of Philip Seymour Hoffman? Okay, here we go. Who are you? What's your name? Do you have a wife? A girlfriend?
Oh, it's just,
Because if you do, I'm going to find her.
don't do it.
I'm going to hurt her.
No.
I'm going to make her bleed
Oh, no.
and cry
Oh, God.
and call out your name.
Oh, I like
And then
that
I'm going to
part.
find you and kill you right in front of her.
Will you do that again as Gilbert Gottfried?
Yeah, will you?
Who are you?
Oh, God, pull the mic away.
All right,
What's
you know what?
your name?
Can you go in the hallway and do it?
Do you have a wife,
Can you
a
do it from outside?
girlfriend? Because if you do,
We gotta cut it,
I'm
we gotta-
gonna find her. I'm gonna hurt her. I'm gonna make her bleed and cry and call out your name. Then I'm gonna find you and I'm gonna kill you right in front of her.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. That's the whole. We're full circle.
That was so
Wow.
good.
Have you?
Ooh.
Affleck duck?
Rock, paper, scissors.
Rock,
Paper, scissors, go. Ooh, okay,
All right,
I
yeah,
get to
after you.
talk. I won. I threw scissors, and he
Fine.
threw paper. One of my favorite little comments that I've seen about what we're doing here came from Andre, the guy, our animator.
Andre
from-
Chirabate.
Yeah, from SourceFed Animated back in the day. Who
Yeah.
I've
Chirabate.
done a lot of work with.
Yeah, work with Smosh and all
after
that.
this
Yeah.
with Smosh, and hopefully we get to work with him soon. He's just talented. And
I
amazing.
know. He blew up, though, man. I don't think we can
but-
afford him.
We can't.
But
Certainly cannot afford him.
Put a pin in that right now.
But
Yeah.
he was kind of there for the whole journey and was very intimately connected to it, like on a creative and
Yeah.
a personal level, and it was really nice. And he had a comment on our Arizona trip video
Yeesh.
that said something along the lines of, "There it is. This feels so Valley folk. Feels nothing like SourceFed. I see who you guys
Yeah,
are now.
yeah.
Cute.
And,
Yeah.
like that
and
a
I
lot.
really understand what you're going for." Or something along those lines. And it was like, yes,
That was
he
the first
gets it.
video where I took a deep breath and was like, okay, like that's like this is good.
I was telling Steve it was weird the other day. I went to a store and someone said like, "Are you in the Valley folk?" And they and that like it wasn't. They didn't say like
Yay.
SourceFed or anything like that. They were
You
just
turned
like,
like, no, I was
like,
in SourceFed.
No, and they're like eat shit. As I walked away. No, it
Eat
was-
shit?
Yeah, yeah, just like
No,
yeah,
eat shit.
Bye bye. Me. No, suck it. No, it was just cute, and I was just like, "Hey you." Thank you. And then they were like, I
And she was like,
watched
"Please
everything.
get out of the store and stop
And
reading our
then-
magazines without buying them."
Yeah. And then they're like, "Ma'am, you can't poop in the toilet. It's not connected to anything. This is just those are display toilets, ma'am."
Eat shit. It's right there.
It's so fun. I was saying that alone to myself in my car on the way home one day.
It's just. Should we tell people what that is?
That song, that impression comes from Lee again on our Valley Folk Arizona trip.
Yeah.
We watched Annihilation.
We watched Annihilation.
So scary.
Yeah.
Which has an amazing scene in it where a death bear basically comes
Yeah,
out.
a horrible death
and,
bear.
Horrible
and
death
it can
bear.
talk.
Wow, I'm
it
just
can-
now remembering that. That was
and
incredible.
was
it says something. It's more like
It's the scariest scene. Yes, it's like
Yeah.
that. Oh God, these poor
Yeah.
headphone users.
So
Yes.
scary.
so.
It's so scary. It was actually a really scary
But
film.
wait a minute,
It
but
truly
Lee,
was.
when we got the Airbnb though, Lee got like she got a bedroom that was far away from
I
everybody
did. It was
else,
far away. I don't know. I just
and it was like in almost like in a
Went to
separate
one.
part of the
Totally
house.
was.
A different
And
wing.
Lee
different
was like,
wing.
and we all turn off all the lights. Everyone's going to bed. Elliot's probably already in
it's
his
like
bedroom.
3 a.m.
Yeah,
We're all
Bowman's
tired.
sleeping on the couch out in the living room, and I think Joe is going to bed, and so Lee is going over to her bedroom, and then she
She's
comes
so
out and
far
she's
away.
like, "Guys, I'm alone over here. I don't want to be alone. And then it just turned into, "I'm all alone in here. Guys, I'm alone in here." And it's 3 a.m. and she's wandering around
She's
the house,
going room to
room. Like
a-
I was
like
upset
a
I didn't close
child.
my door
And-
before she came to my
did it for a good
Because she
30
didn't leave
minutes
my room.
because this was her being funny, but also
I
legitimately
was
didn't want
scared.
to be
Yeah,
alone.
she was like climbing into my bed. I don't want to be alone in my room, Steve. I'm alone in here.
I had
And
my
then-
door locked.
and- oh yeah,
comfortably.
you were you knew it.
not
And
the
you
bag.
were fast asleep
Oh,
already.
Yeah.
sound asleep.
Cut to Elliot. Just
I'm hearing this story for the first
sound
time.
asleep. But eventually, Lee like saunters back to her room, and all the way over there, you can still hear. So like now we're I just couldn't let go of it. It was such a funny phrase that just wouldn't stop at 3 a.m.
no,
and
also it was 3:30.
yeah, it really made me wonder if it would stop.
Nah.
At
no.
one point.
No.
Anyway.
Sometimes Dylan says, "Do you wake up to annoy me?"
Do you work
That's
for
just
every day?
marriage.
That's just marriage.
We lovingly laughed at everything that you were doing that evening, and then
Yes.
said, "Go to fuck to bed."
Yeah, go to bed,
All of
baby.
you were like,
Please.
But
"Stop
Bowman
talking."
loved it.
You're not
Bowman did
sleeping
love
in
it.
here.
Yeah, Bowman was like laughing about it.
Guys, can I say something real fast? Just as a tag, this is it's a segue into something else that I'm going to say some words, and you guys can react however you want to react. We have a sponsor.
Oh, yes! Oh no, I don't have the horn. And how about a new quote from Philip Seymour Hoffman?
One more quote before
we
the
get
sponsor.
Before
One more.
we get into the sponsor.
Maybe nothing about killing.
You hung me out of a plane.
Okay.
You can tell a lot about a person's character by how they treat people. They don't have to treat well.
It's like so good, and it's in my head.
I know, and I can only do it when I'm this tired.
You can
Yeah.
learn a lot about a person if they hang you out of a plane.
I'm all alone in
guys.
here. I'm all alone in here.
Guys, please.
I am.
What is that, a coffee machine?
Can you say I'm all alone in
I'm all alone in here. This is Philip Seymour Hoffman reading for the role of Lee Newton.
In
From
Arizona.
the Valley.
I'd let him.
I'm all alone in here. Guys, I'm all alone in here.
Thank you. Okay, thank you. We'll call you.
We'll call you. Yeah.
Thank
All
you
right,
so much
guys.
for this
Thank you so
opportunity.
Listen, folks. Today's sponsor is Vincero. All right, now let me tell you a little bit about Vincero. If you're watching
Fancy.
this on the video version, which is at youtube.com/thevalleyfolk, you can see right now we are all wearing Vincero watches, Vincero bracelets, Vincero wrist wear. If you've ever wanted a brand of a watch or a brand of a bracelet that's really cool and fun, definitely check out Vincero. They are for the young hustlers. And so here's the deal. It's time to step up your game a little bit and stand out, look nice. Okay, watches are back in. I love watches. And Delma and I, yeah, oh my good
I love
lord,
a good watch.
they're wonderful. A luxury watch, by the way, doesn't have to cost you a fortune. So back off about that. If you're like, I can't
Yeah,
afford it, no,
step
relax.
back
okay,
and get
you're-
off.
Yeah, you're gonna see why you can
Step
afford
off.
it when you check out Vincero. Every watch. Listen to this. Even though you can save and you don't have to spend a fortune, every watch is still manufactured and quality checked by hand.
Ooh.
Okay, before being shipped
Handsy.
out to
They
you,
get all
the
handsy with
customer.
it.
This is the kind of attention to detail and dedication to quality typically only seen with luxury watch brands that are over like $500. That's too much. While Vincero watches start at just a little over $100.
Vincero.
I got this one, which is like a. I like this. Like I'm in this like beige phase right now. This sort of like pastel
Classic
thing.
Elliot.
Big fan of it, and so this is really working with everything else that I'm really excited about. And
Well,
I love it. I love this.
I've got to say, I'm actually not much of a watch person.
Okay, hit me
Watch.
with it.
I'm not, but I saw that Vincero offered bracelets also, and I kind of wanted to like rock a cool
It's cute.
piece of man jewelry.
Dude, it's great.
And look at this sweet
that.
little leather
Yeah.
bracelet.
It's cool,
and
man.
it's like magnetic, so you don't have to worry about like trying to fumble this thing on with one hand.
Dude, I have to fumble
Oh,
things
cool.
on
So
with-
nice.
I-
Yeah.
The other one I wear is I have to fumble on. It's
and
not-
it steps
not
up my
Vincero.
game. Like I was on the dance floor last night, and I swear to God to you,
Okay.
It made you
I
dance
got
back?
compliments on this.
Vincero.
It's like a tennis shoe ad, or like it makes you jump
I
higher.
like your bracelet.
It makes you dance
This
better.
is not their.
It's
I said I love your bracelet.
Thank you. What?
I said I love your bracelet.
Oh, thank you. It's Vincero.
I like your moves.
What?
I said I like your moves.
Babe,
Thank you, it's
Babe.
Vincero.
this is not their tagline, but they can have it. Vincero, you can have this. Vincero, make love to your wrist.
Wow.
Oh,
Good
that's
for
nice.
you,
Graphic.
Vincero. You should
Guys,
take that.
with over 5,000 five-star reviews and a 2-year warranty, you can shop with confidence. And here's the deal. If you want to check them out, if you're into watches, you can check them out at vincerowatches.com/Valleycast, and then you can enter the promo code Valleycast to get 15% off your entire order. Guys, don't blend in. Stand out with Vincero Watches, which you can find at vincerowatches.com.
And also, could I
Valleycast.
just could I spell it out for people just in case they
Yeah.
don't know how to spell
and now to
Vincero?
spell it out, we're gonna go to our guest host, Philip
Philip
Seymour
Seymour
Hoffman.
Hoffman.
Thank you very much. Vincero is spelled VINCERO. Vincero.
Great. Thank you so
Do you
much.
want to hit
I'm
him with
all
that
alone
Vincero Valleycast URL?
That's right. VinceroWatches.com/the Valleycast with the promo code Valleycast.
It's rare that Philip isn't off book. You know?
Yeah.
He had to
Yeah.
still look at the.
Yeah. Why aren't
and
you off
it's-
book,
you're
Philip?
pretty
Seymour
method.
Hoffman?
I've got a lot
guys,
going on.
He's a,
I'm a ghost. It's very difficult.
I am legally a dead man.
How beloved do you like? You have to be so beloved to pass away, and then
Yeah.
like 3 years later, people are just
I
like
know,
doing impressions.
'cause
out
he
of
was just
pure love.
legendary.
Yeah,
I love
He was
him.
just so good.
I feel the same. Him, Keith, all of them. They're great. Okay. Anyway, let's move on, guys.
Yes.
Joe Beretta has a really fun topic that he hasn't told us about yet.
I'm glad you kind of brought up comedy and talking about comedy with because I wanted to talk straight up about comedy with with you guys, specifically performing comedy, and even further specifically, the types of comedy you perform and which ones are scariest for you, which ones you like best. So what's on the table, I will say, and it'll naturally go a bunch of ways, is let's talk stand-up versus improv versus kind of like a sketch comedy variety show type thing. So for instance, for me, I love all three. The hardest for me to get up, and it's the one that intrigues me the most, is stand-up.
Sure.
And the easiest for me personally is improv, and then sketch is just something I love to do, and I'm not like scared about that at all. Sure. And I have a theory for me personally on why I like improv more than I like stand-up, and I'd like to hear your guys' theories about your personal experiences as well. Stand-up terrifies me for a number of reasons. And I think the one that is keeping me from doing it and really taking the dive, like yourself, Elliot, or you, Lee, that have done it a lot, is it's so personal that if it fails, it would feel like the biggest failure to me. Like if my jokes that came from me that I workshopped and practiced really hard bomb, that's the hardest thing. And then improv is the easiest for me, but it's like terrifying to so many other people, and they're afraid to do it because I feel like it's because it's on the spot. You have this free pass of like, yes, if it works, it's brilliant. But if it doesn't, it's just like you get this free pass of like, I just thought of it. Who cares? And then it goes away, and you never have to do it again. It wasn't personal. You didn't spend years or months or weeks working on the material. And it's very easy for me to wipe it off my shoulders, but other people can't do that. So for me, I can do improv. I get zero nervous about it. And stand up terrified.
We're exactly the same. You and I. Yeah. Like I feel so comfortable doing sketch and improv, but like stand up is no for me. Like I've written jokes and stuff, and I think it mostly works, but I don't like it. I don't like how you have to like be aware of your body language, and you have to like not stand still, keep your hands out of your pocket. Like there's so many things you can't really do as a stand up comedian, and I can't follow all those rules. And I'm also like not confident enough in my own written jokes.
See, and that's interesting to me because I feel like you do a version of stand-up, and you can because you're a musical stand-up performer is what you are. You can go up with a guitar with something you have performed and perfected, which is a song.
I guess that's true. I'm also not super confident in that either.
Interesting. You're so good at it.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that, but it's very difficult for me. Yeah.
Huh.
No, stand-up is definitely, I think it's the most neurotic, but I think you're dead on with that. It's because it's like that's yours. That's only yours. And you have to perform it, and it's like, and also like it's such a subjective thing. Like it truly is. With improv, you're kind of like blown away. It's like, oh wow, and I did years of training for improv, and like as much as that sounds ironic, it's very true. Like that stuff is ingrained in me. Like all of that, yes and pick a character and choose, establish who you are first, and all of those things
I
that
like
I
the
now
energy
teach
of it.
Are like it fully ingrained in me. So I feel like it's almost easier to do because I'm like, well, I know the algorithm. Like I know that.
But you are somebody that can do. You come from sketch and improv, and you've also done stand-up. But I've also seen you do stand-up as a character. Is that easier for you to go up as PJ
significantly.
Gert?
I did it last night, and it's significantly easier because one, the pressure is off.
Because it's not you. You're somebody else.
It's not you. You're someone else. Also, like you can be a little lame. Like that's kind of a funny part of the character is that like you can be a little bit bad at this. They can be hacky jokes. They don't have to be great. It's all about your delivery and like who you are and like your perspective more than anything. And that's almost the easiest thing to do because you're just like, oh, this is just a character, and it can be bad, and it's wonderful.
You guys keep talking. I'm gonna go shut that door.
Oh, really? You don't like that
Actually,
door?
it's not being picked up really.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
I'm gonna sit my butt down and ask Elliot to elaborate on this topic further.
Yeah, I
but actually, you know what? I'll shut it down because it'll be easier for me to just go walk over and do it.
And now
it's getting louder.
Yeah.
I'll wait. We can wait and.
No, just go.
Well, I like when you hear what I say.
Okay, then
though.
I'll further expand.
Oh, okay. Yeah, please.
Now, with all of that being said, I do have a fear. I am so intrigued, and I want to do stand up
so much better.
Bad. I want to I think I would be good at it with some practice. It wouldn't be natural. Of course, I have to go through the punches and the kicks and take my blows. But I love it, and I think if somebody can do it well, it's next level.
Yeah.
I think improv, like moments of improv. I was thinking about this last night when it's like there's a thing that happens, and this is going to get real hoity-toity and probably very neurotic, but I think that there's a thing that happens in improvisational moments that is akin to like when you walk away from it, it's so like it feels there's like a thing with improv where when you hit something and you hit it the right way, it almost feels to me like there is no, like it wasn't me. Like it does feel like there's some kind of like you open yourself up and something popped out of you, and it's such a crazy feeling when that happens. And I feel like, I mean, I love stand-up very much and I love the vulnerability of it, but also like I also hide behind wittiness and I can hide behind like joke structure and all that, and only now am I trying to like incorporate more parts of it. And I think that like I could talk about this for hours, and that is my favorite thing to
you're talking about like you come on stage with a structure, and some of the other stuff that you want to incorporate is being alive in the moment.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm very like because I did this second hour thing, and I liked it a lot, but it was felt like I had to get it out, and it's very like now that it's done, I'm like really excited to just get back to like the more just like goofy, like being present, being weird, because I think what I'm trying to do, and this is going to be real heady, but my goal with performance styles is to treat the performance style the same way that like I function internally, which is to have this kind of like oh, this is what I think and these are my thoughts and this is all this, but then also show moments of chaos and moments of weirdness on stage. And I want to structure that or have that shown on stage as a reflection of like a true reflection
what
of who
you're
I actually
saying right
am
now
inside.
is that your words right now, for the most part, the things that you've prepared and you say out of your mouth hole, that's honesty of the thing that you prepared. The words you're saying are you, and that's you being honest. You want to be 100% honest. You want to put honesty in the moment,
right? Because it's not.
Yeah, there's a silliness that comes with improv. There's like a
Yeah.
goofiness.
Oh,
There's
it's
like a
beautiful.
it's literally wild. Like that we always say it's wild. It's that wild thing of just that wild thought.
I think parts
And
are
it's so much
sacred.
fun.
Like I think that there's like
Yeah.
a weird kind of like, and you can see it's, and I don't mean just when I'm doing it or when you guys are doing it, but like as an audience member to sit there and watch
It's completely
a moment like pop out as like this is like. Whatever your religious spiritual beliefs are, there's a part of me that's like, oh, this is God. Like this is like a church-like environment. It's beautiful.
Highlight of art form. It's a weird. I mean, I think back to like certain moments of improv that I've seen over my life, and like that stick in my mind is one of the more brilliant things. There's this guy Jeremy Rowley, and he's a phenomenal performer. Look up everything he does.
I know Jeremy
Jeremy's
Rowley.
incredible. But Jeremy did something one time where he was doing space work, and he literally like popped a top.
He's an
and
astronaut. I'm
building a birdhouse. No, he did a thing where he like
Jeremy,
popped
space
off
work
a
doesn't have to be in
space work,
space.
and then he literally like looked down and he was like, huh, bugs only have 6 legs. Cool Snapple fact. And like it was so in the moment because he just realized that he was doing a stupid space work thing.
Yeah.
He was like, I have to justify this. And it was such a like I literally like screamed.
Yep.
It was so insane.
Yep.
And it's just like I mean, that's not a
That's
very
a-
good
that's a-
example.
well,
'cause
it's a
it sounds
minutia
But
moment.
it's just a minutia moment, and there's things like that happen all the time. But it's also a fun thing as a performer. Like I think back to all the times where I felt those weird open mind moments where you're like, "Holy fuck, where did that come
it's
from?"
crazy. It's like an absolute like when it's done, you're like,
insane. There's the 2 times it's ever happened has been like there was a phrase that someone said, and I think this is part of it, is that you kind of like take things as a sponge your entire life, and then you apply it in improv is because like literally and it's all character perspective. It's all those beautiful, brilliant things. But it's like one of my friends, her mother, when we were shopping one day, she kept saying she was looking for things for her kitchen because tangerine was her punch color. She was like, well, tangerine's my punch color.
That's great. Yeah.
Tangerine's my punch color. And it was something that stuck with me for years. And then like 6 years later, I used it in an improv. And I was just like, fuck, that's where that came from. It's just that weird, like, laid deep in my subconscious thing.
Yeah.
You know?
I love it. I also think there's like a socially, like people listen to comedians now, and they listen to funny people. They don't really listen to, like, there's that phrase that like people used to take politicians seriously and laugh at comedians, and now they laugh at politicians and take comedians seriously. And I like that part.
It is
which I can get trapped by that because I always have my little like things that I want to get out, but it's I like that part too.
The ones that I love, the ones that like keep things relevant for me, like the Patton Oswalt of the world, who I do genuinely look at everything he says, and I'm just he's brilliant. He's a brilliant man. He has so many wonderful perspectives on politics and everything.
I really hope nothing comes out about him.
God, right? That there's
He's like
those
the
angels
last
in your life.
great,
That
like-
please just like be wonderful, please.
I'm at a point in my life where like I will not say what comedians I like just because one day
'Cause
they
you're
might
upset.
fuck up
Yeah,
real bad.
Sure,
They're also
Totally.
like scum. Like
Yeah.
so many
Oh, yeah.
comedians just inherently.
They're
Yeah.
also just like humans. It's
Just
like
damaged. They're just
Yeah.
damaged,
Damaged.
people. Most
But
of
no,
a lot
there's
of them.
those things, and it's just I don't know. I think I could, Elliot's right. I could talk about this for 900 years of like why
fun.
I did stand up for years. I loved it. I went to improv because I needed to explore a silly side of myself. I needed to explore a fun of myself. I was getting really in my head and really defensive and really argumentative, and it feels like that world a little bit. So I did improv, and it's so silly and wonderful and fun, and you get to trust others, and it's really nice to trust others instead of just
it's
yourself.
a collaborative moment
It's a cult.
of joy.
Yeah.
There's only thinking of this in the moment. A stand-up show, I feel like the performer is kind of you're put in this Sherpa role, and
Yeah,
you are
totally.
taking the audience on a journey. You're hoping to go from point A to B to C to D to the end of your show, and you've plotted out the course, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you are the leader, so there's a pressure to that. In an improv show, you are collectively going on a journey with the audience together of discovery, and I think that's why those moments of that are just energetic, where oh my god, I can't believe that happened, are so palpable because you're experiencing it for the first time together. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think that's an accurate statement?
I think so.
It's
accurate.
I mean, it's accurate for sure. But again, I mean, I think it's a weird thing because we actually were just talking about this last night. I was talking about this with 9 other women that are all brilliant, that are all wonderful, amazing, brilliant women that I love and cherish.
All 9 out of 9.
Honestly, that's why it was so weird.
Just statistically.
No, that's why it was a really weird thing.
That's just
Yeah,
the
I mean,
odds of
I
that.
did a show
Yeah.
with like
I'm gonna
8
hit
other
you with
women,
a
and
statistic.
literally every single one of them
That's great.
I truly enjoy. Which
It's
again,
probably going to be a time thing, though, because enough time with those women.
10 years.
One
I've
of
known
them's going to be a
I've
weak
known him
link.
about
Yeah.
8 to 10 years.
I
All
mean,
of them.
statistically,
Statistically,
like
one
Elliot
will
said.
be the weak
I know
link.
actually who it will be.
There it is. There it is.
We broke her, everybody.
No, but we were talking about it last night, and we really were
Sarah.
talking about 100%.
Yeah.
Oh, it's always Sarah.
It's always
isn't it?
Sarah.
It's always Sarah. No, I forgot.
Always Sarah.
I'm sorry.
in
No,
Philadelphia.
it's okay.
You got hijacked by the bit.
You
Steve.
worked
Hijacked
with these
by the
women?
bits.
Yes.
I forget.
They're
Fine. It's fine. They were great women. I moved on. We're good.
I feel like you're being a little quiet over there because you haven't really jumped in the world of improv nor stand up like
Yeah.
with a specific jump, but you're so good at both that I just need to hear you talk about
Yeah.
this more because you electrify a room. Like you can walk into a karaoke mic and be the best person
unreal.
that has ever graced the
Thank
stage.
you, man.
You're such a good
Thank you.
performer that I just want to hear more of your philosophy of comedy when it comes to a live setting.
I don't know. I don't feel very versed in like the particulars of what makes improv and comedy work in any way. I mean, I do feel like I've certainly earned a place in this digital world as like a funny guy, and that's kind of like my brand, and I appreciate the audience that eats that up and loves it and
Except for
gives
you,
me
Sarah.
validation. Yeah, fucking Sarah. Yeah, I just feel like I'm not much of an authority on the subject because I didn't take improv classes, and I didn't.
I don't think you have to be an authority on anything. I think it's just the difference between the two.
I just
you know?
I mean, I just don't want to say that like if someone asked me like, how do you improvise? Like I feel like my knowledge of improvisation is not really teachable.
You did, but
you know
you
what I
did
mean?
knowledge
Like,
through education in the sense of like doing. Your education
yeah,
is doing
my
what works and what doesn't. And
yeah. I mean, my teacher was like, Mr.
The
Show
streets.
Yes,
and
no,
a lot of
truly.
TV show, a lot
That's
of
a
TV
really
shows.
big deal. Your
but-
teacher is your taste.
But also one of my biggest teachers was my friend Blake, who I collaborated with for years and years and years as a young man, and he was quite a bit older than me, which is kind of weird, but we just worked together so well, and he taught me so many things about my body and improv and no, he like
My kinks.
my kinks, yeah, he really got me comfortable with my body. But no, he like really taught me how to kind of just like not give a fuck and kind of like just kind of listen to the room and listen to people and kind of get a sense of where everyone's at in a in a mood, like read the room. He really
Totally.
taught me how to read the room in a way, and it's one of those things that like I just didn't get any kind of formal training, so I feel like I can't really speak on
But
like
I think you did. Here's the one thing I will say about you, Mr. Zaragoza, is that you far more than I teach at Groundlings now, and like not now because I'm busy.
You're here right now.
I'm here right now.
What a
but,
silly
like,
statement,
I
Lee.
teach.
We
and
wouldn't want you anywhere
I
else.
will mention things. I will mention people like Carol Burnett, and I will mention people
Who?
like Carol Burnett.
That's nice, Joe. You know, you say that, but so many people watching or listening to
I'm
this
not
are like,
kidding.
who?
This is what happens. Like, I will mention things, and I'll be
I
like,
love
"Oh, it's a
Lucy,
little
for those
Paul
of you who
Lane."
don't know.
I'll, like,
Get the fuck out of here.
I'll say, fucking idiot. I'll say things all the time, and kids will not know. But one thing I will say about you is that, like, as much as you're like, I'm not well versed in this. Every comedian I mention, like, not even current. I'm
guess
saying
that's
like
true,
old school,
yeah.
like Red Skelton, like
Yeah.
Paul Lynde, like all these things that
The
we've
Marx
mentioned, the Marx
Brothers and
Brothers,
stuff, yeah.
Smothers Brothers, like all these
Yeah.
people that I've mentioned in the past that like not Elaine May and like Nichols and May, like all these
Yeah,
people,
yeah.
all of them.
SCTV and all that.
You
I
just
mean,
haven't-
we
you
did a
That's
lot
an
further.
education through knowledge.
Yeah,
guess
you have
that's
the,
true,
You just
yeah.
don't have the degree. You have all the training. You just didn't get the thing. You
There's
didn't go into the room and
tons of
go,
kids.
"This is what it is."
Yeah.
You just learned it.
Yeah.
I guess that's true.
And
tangentially.
that, truly, there are so many kids taking tons of improv classes right now that don't know and I get furious about it. I'm like, go back and look at
Yeah.
what you're inspired by
Do your
for the love
homework.
of fucking God.
Yeah,
P.S.
like who do you love? And most people would be
Yes.
like, "Oh, I love Will Ferrell,"
Oh, it's
or
always a
like
current,
Steve
it's
Carell,
always
or
a
like
this, and it's
yeah,
like-
and it's like, well, look
but
who inspired those people.
Legit.
Yeah,
That's
go
always
back to that.
my frustration,
Yeah.
especially with women. Especially, it's like one of those of like there would be no Tina Fey without Gilda Radner. There
Right.
would be no this without this. P.S. There's a really great, hilarious, wonderful inside joke. There's a Barry billboard. The billboard for Barry, which he's a guy that takes improv classes, directly above the Groundlings Theater.
That's funny.
It's
And
perfect.
it-
They know their audience.
Oh, it's also just like such a weird little inside joke that makes me so happy.
There's
Yeah.
also one right above the prison, so it all works out.
It all works out. I love it.
yeah.
I
That's
love
a
it.
really good viral marketing.
Yeah, right? You like that?
Joe, I could talk about it forever, but I won't. I'm gonna move on.
Well, I
Yeah,
appreciate all the kind words,
Yeah,
guys.
I wish
do.
you would only for my own benefit. But you also, I think there's something to be said for just getting your creativity out, and you do that inherently. So it's not like you're like bottling stuff up that I'd be like, let it out, Steve, because you do let it out. But selfishly, I would love to see you explore, because I don't think there's the rules and all that stuff is fun, but it's only to my understanding is the rules are only to guide you toward what's already inside you anyway. It's just to get the rules are to clear out what is in the way.
I
not
mean, it's like
add
a
to
muscle,
it.
right? Like we were talking about, it's a muscle that you kind of can definitely work out. And you
Totally.
can definitely, you know, I mean, and it is what it is. And I don't know.
You're gonna be on the next show I'm on.
I just feel,
All right.
I just feel like that's terrifying to me every time. Whenever Mike is like, "Dude, come be on Friends and Friends," I'm like, "Oh, okay, no."
Yeah, you do get nervous. It's adorable. It's very endearing.
It's just I can't. It's just I don't know, man. It's just weird for me. But
Also, I think it's something that's such an enjoyment for you. Like that's a
It-
big part
yeah,
of why I
yeah.
don't do stand up anymore is because improv, sketch comedy, sketch stand up is such an enjoyment for me that whenever I get into the stand up mind, I'm like, I'm panicking, I'm neurotic.
Yeah.
This
well,
is
plus
fucking
it's
awful.
like it's
Yeah.
very it's
is
like
awful.
it's a lot of work.
Yeah, man.
Stand up.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like you gotta be if you really want to make stand up your thing, you gotta fucking eat,
Exhausting.
sleep, and breathe stand up. You can't just be like, I want to be a stand up and go to like once a week open mics or something. No, you got to go all the fucking time. And I don't know if I have that. I don't know if I have that.
there was
Open
a-
There's like
micers.
God of War to play.
Yeah. And I also feel like, oh, absolutely. I mean, yeah, there's definitely the creature comforts. but,
girls, you know what I'm talking about,
but
guys?
for me, it's like I feel like most of what works for me and what I think is my best stuff is when I have someone to play off
Yes,
of,
totally.
and I can't really do it. I mean, I can do it alone,
Is it me?
but it's like, yeah, of course, it's
Thanks,
you,
babe.
Lee.
What the? I'm gonna find you after this podcast.
No, guys, it's every one of you, obviously, and all my other funny friends who are always all great and fun to work with, and the ones you don't see us work with anymore are the ones that weren't good at all. So just so you know, but you know, I just really think it's one of those things where where I really work well when I have people to kind of bounce off of, and that's why stand-up's not really my thing. I feel like.
Can I do one little mini tangent? Topic
Yeah,
off of
baby.
this? Just real. We don't have to
can. I
elaborate.
gotta go.
I just want
Bye.
your answers.
I
What's
gotta
your
go, bye.
favorite live thing to experience? Doesn't have to be stand up or improv or whatever. When you go to a show, what's your favorite live type of show? For instance, my favorite live thing, if I only had one choice, is I'll go to musical theater and cry at one that isn't even sad because I think it's the epitome of human creativity.
Wow, interesting.
Wow.
Yeah.
You think musical theater?
That's
Musical
you
theater.
gotta save that for a different day because
That's a whole
I
other
disagree.
thing.
Yeah.
You're trying to sneak into a
I
second
know.
topic.
Good God, Joe.
Trying to sneak.
Another answer could be a rock concert.
I like improv shows.
I love rock
improv
concerts.
shows.
Yeah.
I do. I'm one of those.
Improv for you.
I do.
Musical
I love it
theater for
still.
me.
I can tell you my least favorite
Yeah.
was typically sketch shows. Sorry, but I don't. But improv
You guys
shows I
haven't been to
love.
good ones.
I've been to some good ones. I think it's just not my thing. But improv shows by the same people, or like I just don't.
I love a good
sketches.
combo of
Sketches
both.
exhaust me, and I don't think. I think they end shittily, and I think most of them are poorly written
And too long.
And too long.
Sure.
But
I think it's
improv.
too long to do.
Oh my god, a
Yeah.
nice improv show, like a good improv.
But I mean, there's
show is-
bad
is-
improv too, for sure.
Of course, bad.
That's your
I've
favorite.
seen that. Yeah, or a rock
Oh, yeah.
concert.
Rock concert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Joe, I think again, sorry not to steal your shit, but I kind of love musical theater too,
I love it so much.
especially when it's like comedic musical theater. Like,
Yeah.
Wow, and I'm the gay one.
It's music plus great writing, hopefully, plus amazing dancing and performing, and then
Yeah.
all the technical elements, the lights coming
You know
together,
what?
and then it's this joined
it's just
community
pure
experience.
talent.
We're not doing
Pure
ta-
talent.
So
No.
good.
I don't.
So my topic this week
I like
is
music theater too. I like it too. I just like. I grew up. You know what it is? It's this. I get nervous about singing, and it makes me too much. It's. I get. That's,
I get that.
I get.
I get
I like.
You get
I mean, it's-
anxiety.
I
but it's
love
a-
Joseph
it's
and
a-
the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat.
It's a
I love
showcase
that
of
play.
pure talent. I mean, I saw Book of Mormon, and I was like, Jesus, it made I think a tell for like a live thing that makes you feel any particular thing is when you're watching a live show, and as soon as it's over, you're like, fuck, that's what I want to do.
Yes. Yep.
Like, and I feel like whenever I come out of a good musical, I'm like, fuck, I want to be in a musical.
I want to be Hedwig so bad.
Cool.
I've
cool.
been in a lot of musicals and I still don't feel that way.
Really?
Yeah, and I truly enjoyed them. I truly enjoyed doing them. But then I go back and I remember the hell.
Oh, yeah,
and
lots of work.
Not to be this
Oh,
person,
yeah.
but the people.
Yeah,
Oh
no,
my God,
sure.
too
sure.
much.
Like if
The
you're
people are
if you're
too
gonna
much.
be
Yeah,
with
yeah.
if you're gonna be with anyone, you want
Shots
like improv
fired.
people.
I mean,
But-
you're not wrong.
No,
You're not
it's
wrong.
truly in my experience,
They're
which
all
I
types.
have a lot.
Though. They're all types.
One of my favorite
that
things
way.
that I realized growing up doing theater was like there's always that moment where the director breaks down 1 week before performance and has like a meltdown, and
Yeah.
they all do it, and then the show's great, but everyone's like, we're not ready, and then all the actors are like, we can't upset him, and it's this weird power play that like happened to every single
Yeah.
play.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
It's a world of very dramatic people. which is great.
I'd love to segue into something kind of important too, in the same vein, actually, which is we have another sponsor.
I gotta go.
Joe, you weren't ready for that, were you?
Oh yeah.
I gotta go.
Speaking of things we love, I absolutely love MeUndies, which is our next sponsor. I totally do. I wear them all the time. I love them. They're my favorite undies.
Whose undies are they?
They're mine. My undies.
The Yo Undies.
They're MeUndies.
MeUndies. My undies.
So here's the thing, guys. Let's think about your underwear for a second.
Okay,
Everyone
I
who's
will.
listening to this, please, just for a moment, think about your undies.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little weird, I know, but your first thought probably isn't, they're awesome.
No.
They're non-existent.
Oh.
Which is why I want to tell you about MeUndies. They're comfy, awesome undies that'll make you feel good from the moment you put them on. And when you feel good, anything is possible.
It's actually
MeUndies
true. That's
are
actually
oh yeah,
dead
that's
true.
scientifically
Yeah.
proven.
Want to be in a musical? MeUndies.
MeUndies are made with a material sustainably sourced from the beechwood trees. Their naturally soft fiber makes a fabric that won't sag down or right up. Trust me, once you put on a pair, you'll get it. They just fit like a glove. They're very nice. They're snug. It's like a hug on your crotch area.
It's like a hug, a butt glove.
It's a junk glove.
It's like a
Glove
butt
hug.
glove.
Junk hug.
It is.
Junk hug. It's like a shoe for your junk.
Yeah.
I love it.
The most
a
comfortable
that
shoe.
fits.
Yeah.
For sure, with an insole
Yeah, and it's
for your
comfy.
junk. Yeah.
And it makes your soul feel better
Soul
when you
feel
put it on.
better.
'cause
And guys,
you-
guess what? These beautiful magical underwears from MeUndies can be sent right to your door. You don't have to go to a store. You don't have to walk around a Target or any other shopping place and deal with the public.
I hate buying underwear.
I know,
in
it's
public,
the
man.
worst.
Yeah.
It's the worst. And honestly, you know what you're getting when you go and you buy those 12-pack of like
Yep.
insert brand name here underwear
Awful.
brands, and
Also,
you're
they
just
look
like,
so
not
sad.
MeUndies.
In like
Yeah,
2
yeah.
weeks, they look so sad and
yeah,
gross.
and you just can't. And like you wash them 3 times and
Yeah,
they're
it's
done,
dirty.
I
basically.
just feel like if you buy underwear in public, you're basically telling the cashier, like, I'm wearing underwear with holes
I
in
don't
them.
have good
It makes
underwear
me
on
feel,
right
yeah,
now.
yeah. Like, in
Sixth
any
grade
situation
is when
where
I
you
last got underwear.
yeah
Yeah.
Yeah,
you want
and,
to treat yourself to underwear. You don't want to.
Yeah, you do. You it's like, you know what they say about like there's some things you should splurge on in your life. They say
Yeah.
your bed is one of them. They
Your
say like a pair
bras.
of glasses is
Your
one of
murder
them.
weapons.
Yeah, I think underwears is
What'd you say?
Murder weapons.
Murder weapons.
Yeah, you gotta splurge. You
can't
gotta
go
get the
cheap.
best. Yeah. But
gotta go
I
fast and
truly
quick.
feel the same way about underwear. We're protecting a precious part of our bodies. You know, the reproductive organ.
Give me that
Also-
organ that's on the
Butt
Truly,
outside.
cheeks.
as like from the lady side of it, there's nothing cuter than when a boy has cute underwear
Oh,
because
it's
it's
a
such
big-
a
I
non-common
know, I
thing.
know.
But
It's a
it
necessity.
literally will be like
I gotta
a-
be honest. Me
like a-
undies has gotten me like some good times.
Yeah,
You got
wow.
you some me ladies.
Yeah, as soon as you take your pants off, they're like,
like,
"Oh,
I love
yes,
avocados."
yeah." It just adds to the fun of being alive, guys. MeUndies is so sure that you'll love your first pair that if you're not happy, they'll do whatever they can to get you into the right pair, and if they can't, keep them and they'll refund you.
Wow.
So it really is risk-free to try the best underwear ever. So guys, if you're still not sure, MeUndies has a deal for the listeners of this fine podcast.
Do it.
First-time purchasers get 20% off their first pair of MeUndies and free shipping, guys. That's 20% off plus free shipping and a guarantee that you and your MeUndies will be very happy together. So get your butt over to MeUndies.com and treat yourself, guys. And if you want to get that 20% off your first pair, free shipping, a 100% satisfaction guarantee, go to MeUndies.com/Valley. That's MeUndies.com/Valley.
Do it. Check them out. It helps us
love
out, and
it.
you help your junk out.
It's beautiful.
It does help us out.
Hey,
That's very true,
it's,
and it helps
Philip
you out.
Seymour
and helps
Hoffman
you.
here again.
Okay.
and,
Oh, sorry.
I was buried in MeUndies.
Well, there you go. That's I mean,
a
you
fact. I
don't
read
get any
that
better
on-
than
I read
that.
That's on the trivia tab on IMDb.
It was in my will. I wanted it.
Let's hear Lee's
God.
topic. She's got to run.
I gotta go actually.
Lee.
now.
Oh, you gotta
I
go.
right
You
now.
can't even do your
We'll get
topic.
out of here.
Now.
Give us your
Okay,
topic.
great.
Give us your topic.
My topic was gonna be this.
This watch that you're holding?
Let's watch
The Ventura.
this. Ventura.
Chero.
My topic was the power went out in my building last night. We got an email from Southern Edison that said a metallic balloon hit the transformer.
Somebody's birthday ruined
Nah,
your day.
fuck that. It's fucking conspiracy. Like
Oh.
100%. But here's the thing.
I mean, or a metallic balloon hit the
But also,
transformer.
why are we selling metallic balloons? But I didn't know this, but why are we selling them?
'Cause it looks really
Lee's
good.
hot take over here. Why are we selling metallic
okay,
balloons?
listen, because all of my neighbors, I wasn't home. Listen, I wasn't home, and all of my neighbors were like, "This is the most terrifying thing that ever happened." In I guess what
Losing
happened
your
was
power?
an insane boom happened.
Yes.
The transformer went out.
Transformer booms are scary.
And then
they are.
a second boom happened, and they said it was like the sky was lit up. It was fireworks. One of my neighbors was like, "I just started packing." And we were trying to get out as fast as possible.
Wow.
She was
Oh,
like, I
Jesus.
thought it was a full bomb.
Yeah, like we're being attacked. Yeah.
And then my friend M, she lives in our front building, and she literally was like, I lost my mind. She's like, did you hear that? Like, Meaty, her dog, was like, I losing his mind. She's like, it was like everyone was out on the street screaming. It was like
Jesus.
full pandemonium.
That reminds me of the Hawaii thing when my brother and sister-in-law were in Hawaii when that
Yeah.
Maui when
That
missile
metallic
alert-
balloon
when the
flew
metallic
When the
over
missile,
Hawaii.
no,
yeah the
No,
false
that
alarm missile thing, and
stupid-
they were hiding in the closet and they were like, well, we're gonna die now.
I
like
can't
that's
imagine.
unreal. To
Oh
me.
yeah, the
alarm.
emergency thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Jesus Christ,
That they just, like, accidentally
that's
flipped
the
off.
craziest thing.
It's
I'm
so
sorry, I touched
unreal.
the- I'm
for
sorry.
like I
Elliot, what did I say?
Don't touch that.
Touching cables.
I'm sorry.
Gotta go.
Lee,
Get
What,
out
I
of
gotta
here,
give you a fidget
No,
spinner?
But it was just one of those things where so then I came home. I'm home alone right now because Delman is at his parents' house fixing up our
kidnapped
Gus,
by a
bus.
metallic balloon.
Gus the
Kidnapped
best.
by a metal- You know, I just here's the thing.
floated away with Del.
This is my problem though. I
Delman's
just
like,
keep
I'm in love
picturing-
with a metallic balloon.
That would track. That would track.
It's vintage.
And 2 for 1.
and
Problem
he
is,
treats me with respect.
that tracks. No, the
Metallic
only
balloon
thing
doesn't
is,
make fun of me on a podcast.
Metallic balloon doesn't wake me up with.
No, the thing is, I keep picturing these fucking dipshit like people with their, like the people that have the like 3-0 for their birthday with the metallic balloon. That's what I keep picturing as some little dipshit being like, I'm 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And then
Not
everyone
anymore.
else is like, pack your bags, we're leaving.
Someone's fun became someone else's
pandemonium.
paranoia.
Yeah, 100%.
Is what happened in that situation.
Someone's stupid 33 balloon went and
He was just probably
Check
making a
that
dumb
out.
joke. He's like, guys, right now I'm 33, but I can change it. Let's go. Three floats
just
up to the sky.
done.
Guys, I'm only 3 now.
Now
Or
it's
it's just some stupid SpongeBob SquarePants.
Yeah.
That's like
Just dying.
dying
Dora
on
the
there.
Explorer.
Yeah, 100%.
We live in a crazy town.
But
Yes, we
it
do.
was one of those things where I like came home and I just like lit a bunch of candles, and it was very much one of those things where I was like, what do I do now?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what you didn't do. Take a damn bath. You
No,
didn't do
I
that.
did not. I did not take a damn
Well,
bath.
that's just dumb.
No, it's not. It's not. I was in the dark. I would have slipped and fallen and died.
Do you have one of those those flashlights that you can?
a wind
power-
No, I have one that you click on with a battery.
Yeah, but like these are better because you don't need batteries.
Yeah, I mean I have that, but I also was
And they're
pissed.
fun.
I had
It's like
this
you got a little.
This is so sad.
No,
I
that's
had
a Jack in the Box.
I
Oh,
had 6.
Could you imagine? Power's out, honey. You're
You're trying to scare everyone. You're doing it.
you please just get the flashlight?
Was it you when we were in Phoenix when we were in that thrift store and you
Yeah,
found a Jack in
it
the
was
Box?
me, it was
and,
me.
Yeah, and you're like,
Yeah, I loved it. I love a little Jack in
It was
the Box.
classic. It was a good
Of course,
one.
that you were
good bit.
totally.
It was
right.
100% a Transformer box exploding, and they are terrifying every time they do
Dude,
it.
was apparently it was like the most like again people were packing
They
up
light
ready
up
to
the
go.
sky, and
but
if they
I was
go for a long time. The electricity
sounded
starts
like just
arcing, and that's a horrible
fireworks.
sound.
Oh, that terrifies. I'm glad I wasn't there.
Yeah.
But
This
the other
topic's
thing I did
boring.
laugh about is seriously,
Totally kidding.
seriously, we talked for 85 minutes
No, I'm
about
just
Joe's
so
improv.
tired.
I
I'm
can't
so
even
tired.
talk about
It's just
improv.
It's not.
I want
It's
to
not
die.
you. It's me.
All right, I love you so much. Bye.
All right, let me let you out, baby.
Bye, Lee. Get out of here. Steve, let her out, will you?
Have you ever seen it, Ellie? Have you ever been around a Transformer
I
box
can't wait
exploding?
that you guys.
I feel like I
you guys
have an
get to hear
image.
the wonderful topic that Steve's going to do, which is going to be fart stuff.
Yeah.
No, I changed it. I changed it.
Oh,
I changed it.
Good, good. I
curveball.
support that. I support it.
Thank you.
Support it.
Thank you.
Ball.
Lee, good luck. I hope it goes great. I don't
Lee.
know what it is, but I hope it's awesome.
For real though, have you guys ever seen a Transformer box?
I feel like I
explode?
know the image. I
Not
can
seen
see
it,
it in my
no.
head, but definitely not in
or
person.
heard it. It does.
I have heard it, yeah.
It lights up the sky like an unworldly color.
Yeah.
because just all this power just stuck in a box, and then you hear that, and it could be so far away, and you still hear it, and it's a very unnatural sound.
Yeah. That's crazy.
And speaking of unnatural sound, so it makes you uneasy, and it's like when we were talking about earthquakes and
Bye, baby.
the ground moves, and you feel like,
Oh, bring it in, please.
we got a package. You're experiencing your sense is experiencing something just a little off of the norm.
Yeah, like an uncanny valley, kind of like
That's great.
Yeah.
Thank you for
she
that.
just slammed the fret.
So it messes with you on an auditory level because of the and the explosion, but then also on your an optical level because you see, and it's just a flash, and you never see where it comes from. Like it's because it just
That's terrifying.
It just encompasses the sky.
And you've seen this?
Yeah, I've seen many a Transformers explode because I have a problem and I do it.
I've seen many. I've seen them
Because
in
it's the
different
only way I
counties.
can get off.
But you said it when we were talking about this topic a second ago. You kind of said it offhandedly, but another thing that makes you incredibly uneasy, and I was talking to my daughter about this, are any emergency broadcast system alarms.
Oh,
sounds,
yeah.
Amber Alerts.
Yep.
Anything like that. It's
It's just
still-
unsettling, yeah.
Yeah, and that's why they are what they are. So you take notice, right? But
Right.
but you take notice with such a responsive fear.
Yeah.
like that you start already thinking illogically.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
we live in our bubbles so much that the moment something like that happens, we're like, oh no, don't pop the bubble and reveal the bad things
Like-
are happening elsewhere.
Yeah, how did they land on those sounds? What was like the test, like the focus
I
group
know.
of like
They were like, it's got to
figuring
be
out
something that will
what the
disrupt
sound is?
Married with Children.
Yeah, what was
Yeah.
what's on the cutting room floor of the emergency broadcast? hey guys.
Yeah.
Hey, something's up.
You know what? I've got just the thing that I know was on the cutting room floor, but you guys keep talking because it's going to take me a sec to
Okay,
pull
we'll
it up.
keep going.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, that's a great. I'm curious though. We can't really. I mean, it would have been like a weather balloon, right? It wouldn't have been like a birthday balloon.
No,
No,
it
it
could have
could've
been.
been, for
It
sure.
definitely
Oh,
could have
really?
been. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
interesting.
That gets up into the power lines. I think
Wow,
there's
crazy. That
Yeah.
easy, huh?
Yeah, she's not wrong about like people. There's people that just don't like the
Oh, here it
the
is.
world of metallic balloons.
Okay, here's this is an exclusive. This is a tone left on the cutting room floor for emergency broadcast sound.
Great.
You son of a.
Hold on, guys. There's an emergency.
Please find shelter. You have 20 minutes. This is not a joke. Despite the sound that we have chosen to alert you of this emergency. Ignore that. Find shelter. Get your loved ones. Get them inside.
I think
This is
to
Philip
find-
Seymour Hoffman, and if you are hearing this, then you got to get to your nearest city council. That way you can all get together and hide in the
Get
bomb
to the
shelter.
city council. That script is on the cutting room
Yeah,
floor.
it certainly is.
Get to
Get to
city
city
council.
Get to your local city council.
Get to your local city council and
Where
file
do
a
I go?
complaint.
City council.
Where do I go?
Don't you remember your training? Get to the city council.
Um,
You could also replace that horrible sound for the emergency broadcast or the Amber Alert sound with the theme song from Unsolved Mysteries, and it would be
oh yeah,
just
it'd be just as terrifying. Yeah, or the Twilight Zone
Yeah,
theme,
man.
maybe.
Oh God, no.
Okay,
No.
okay. So, guys, my topic really quick is kind of an interesting one I found on Today I Learned on Reddit. And it's so interesting. It's so crazy. If this was SourceFed, we would have covered this 100%. Check this out. Today I learned in Japan, you can hire actors to pose as short/long-term spouses, children, friends, etc. Ishii Yuichi was hired to pose as a girl's missing father by her mother for 8 years without his daughter knowing.
This is Japan?
This is Japan.
I have another fact about Japan that I recently learned. That when I learned it, we all in the room said, we can't talk about this. This can't get out.
What?
What?
Yeah, like jokingly we said that.
Yeah.
But what we learned was that Japan also apparently just doesn't allow Muslim people in.
Bullshit.
Yeah. Like Google it. It's unverified. It was
I was
somebody.
gonna say, I don't think anything
it was
we've said
something
is fact
somebody else
checked
said.
yet,
It's not
so-
fact checked, but I think it's true, and the reason for it is some kind of logic that they still have and stand by, which I won't get. I don't have any interest in opening that can of worms, but I did hear that, and it blew my mind. Big if true is what I'm saying.
Big if true. Huge if true.
And that is, it's interesting. In the same week, I've learned two very interesting things.
Well, I
about
can
Japan.
confirm to you that in Japan, you could totally pay an actor to impersonate your relative, spouse, coworker, or any acquaintance. And this is a real thing that's done.
I wonder how much that cost. 8 years of acting.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, that's what I want to ask you guys. Would you would you take that job?
What
No.
And or would you watch that Will Ferrell movie?
yes.
About
100%
about-
would watch the movie.
Yeah.
That's
He's-
very understandable.
right? Like he's a guy that like you can hire to be like someone that you maybe it's like the movie is like you see like a bunch of things where he goes to like be someone's dad, be someone's boyfriend, someone's husband or whatever, and then eventually he like meets back up with like a girl that he had a crush on in college or something. Like I feel like that would be a good story.
Here's the claim. In Japan, permanent residency is not given to Muslims. The propagation of Islam is banned. One cannot import a Quran published in the Arabic language, and Muslims cannot even rent a house. This is on PolitiFact, and it was dubbed Pants on Fire, everybody. Walked you up a hill, walked you right back down it. Apologies. We'll cut that out of the podcast.
Oh, I won't cut it
Total
out.
lie. And
Hey.
don't believe things that people are saying when you're all hanging out in
There
an
we go.
apartment together.
We did some fact checking. I think we keep it. You see, we
course we keep it.
Yeah,
we
yeah.
are responsible human beings, kind of.
Yes.
We are semi-responsible. Steve,
Hopefully no one's listening to this podcast for sweet education.
Hopefully, you don't listen to like that part and then just get pissed and stop listening, and they
And then
walk
just
away
get-
thinking it's
somebody
fact.
is out there hating Japan right now.
Oh,
because-
no.
That's sorry, I segued, but that
Steve,
wasn't-
does that guy go for 8 years? Is that guy? What if that guy had a family? Does he go home for 4 hours at night while the child is
Yeah.
asleep? to
I
go
mean, he
spend
must
time
have
with
a
his
family. He must, yeah.
I guess that's why he's making. Do you walk after 8 years? Would you feel like you are that child's father? You would have to.
Why don't you read some of the top comments? Let's get into people's heads. a
Top
little bit.
comment is the story about the daughter being bullied for not having a dad was heartbreaking, as was how the daughter opened up to him and cries whenever he leaves. Though the section about how he played the role of the man the wife cheated on was funny. He dressed up like Yakuza to avoid confrontation.
That's like, first of all, the first part of that sounds like we're sad. My child's sad that the goldfish died, so we went out and we bought another goldfish.
No, my child was being bullied at school because the goldfish died, so we went out and got
Right.
another goldfish. Yeah. Yeah. It's
And
really
then-
interesting.
And then he dressed up as like a funny, cute thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know, man. I
There's
don't know.
an
That's
article
a-
here on The Atlantic that says how to hire fake friends and family. In Japan, you can pay an actor to impersonate your relative, spouse, coworker, or any kind of acquaintance. Crazy. Family Romance is the name of the company.
Okay.
This comment says, I can't be the only one that feels it might just be a little morally and ethically wrong to attempt to deceive a child for the entirety of their life in this way.
No, he's the only one.
Instead of actually helping her to cope with the situation in a way that doesn't involve literally manipulating and deceiving her. And the next comment says, Japan is insanely obsessed with the idea of conformity. The emotional damage caused by years of bullying could be far greater than hiring someone to act as a surrogate father.
Wow, interesting. Because it would make them an outlier, and they're so about like the kind of collect. That's very, very fascinating.
Man, you know what I would love to do? I would love to
Super
do a
fascinating.
version of housekeeping and talk about this topic in Japanese culture with Reina, our former
Oh,
coworker.
yeah, that's a great idea. We could just call her up, yeah.
Because it's this, we're talking about the different, like massive differences in culture and acceptance on this topic that we can't really comprehend. Imagine right now your dad called you up right now and it was like, Elliot, just wanted to say the last 31 years have been real fun. It was an opportunity I couldn't pass up, and I'm really glad I did, and I learned a lot. But the gig's over. I'm not your dad. Yeah, so I'm not going to keep in touch, but I will be playing the dad over at the Johnsons down on 6th Street. So maybe come on by. Maybe we can be friends. Maybe we can be acquaintances.
Yeah, man.
Like I'm a Johnson now.
No, down the street that'd be the Gallaghers.
The Gallaghers.
Yeah.
It says there is a link to the company here in the subreddit, which is crazy, and it says Westerners can hire them to hang out if they pay for travel expenses. It's expensive, but a guy did it when he flew people to Vegas to pose for a Facebook picture.
Okay. Yeah, people are weird, and I don't like it.
Yep. Yeah, man. It's pretty interesting.
Different. Cultures are weird. Cultures are different, and that's so different that I don't like it.
Guys, Lee got up.
Too different.
She's not here for this topic, but what we could do is call this company and have somebody here, like really quick, like what, 4 days? And we could have somebody finish out this topic with us.
Yeah.
From Japan, playing the role of Lee.
I got nothing to say. That's something that I have no. It's so strange that I have nothing.
I know, isn't
to
it?
say.
It just makes you. I mean, I know. I think what we should do is read this
emotional.
article. It's on the Atlantic. If you want to read the article, so you could probably just type in the Atlantic how to hire fake friends and family into Google. If you want to read this article, it's a very long interview with the person who runs this company. And the company's called Family Romance, and it's very interesting.
And that's our third sponsor.
Family Romance.
So if you lost a loved one,
FamilyRomance.com/Valley.
would you like to hire a brother or a sister?
Unbelievable. What a weird way to fill holes in your like emotional existence.
Yeah.
I mean,
and I wonder if
live in. Yeah. But yep.
Does it work?
You have to look, man. There's been you've all heard the phrase like tell yourself something enough times and you start to believe it. Why wouldn't you in this? You know,
dude. Look at this quote. Look at this
quote.
quote.
Make anything your reality. And is this any weirder than what's coming down the line for sure? Like Steven Spielberg's AI, like having AI or robot.
I think what's weird about it is it's not even
relationship roles.
What's weird about it, what's weirder than that is like that's like an advancement of technology, and it's sort of like, oh, as technology advances, our culture will change. And this is almost like it seems more like hiring like a caterer or something.
Yeah.
Like it's almost more antiquated and
It's emotional.
Wait, guys, listen to this.
It's emotional
fascinating-
prostitution.
Listen to this.
I'm done.
It's
Listen to this
emotional
quote.
catering.
This quote from the article from the guy that runs this company, he says, I always ask every client, are you prepared to sustain this lie?
And some people would be. Some people could do that.
Here's what they ask. Is this ongoing? This is about the girl, the girl that he is pretending to be her real father. He says, yes, I've been seeing her for 8 years. She just graduated high school. And the interviewer asks, does she understand that you're not her real father? And Yuichi says, no, the mother hasn't told her. And the interviewer says, how do you think she would feel if she discovered the truth?
Sure.
Yuichi says, I think she would be shocked. If the client never reveals the truth, I must continue the role indefinitely.
What, this is like a curse? Did a witch curse him?
If the daughter gets married, I have to act as a father in that wedding, and then I have to be the grandfather. So I always ask every client, are you prepared to sustain this lie? It's the most significant problem our company has. Now check this out. Interviewer asks,
The one hole.
So you could be involved with her for the rest of your life. And he says, it's risky that she might discover the truth someday. In this company, one person can only have 5 families at a time. That's the rule. It's not about it's not only about secrecy. Check this out.
I don't want to be here anymore.
The client always asks for the ideal husband, the ideal father. That's a very difficult role to maintain.
Don't we know it, Steve?
Oh my god.
Don't we know it, fellas?
Oh my god.
We're thinking about
This is crazy.
You guys, we're only thinking about like naturally we're thinking about the side of the person that is purchasing. The person that's fulfilling the role has to be a certain level of psychotic as well.
I don't know about psychotic, but definitely
sociopath to be able to go in and affect a family like that.
Culture, that's just a different world.
I guess it would just be a situation where it's like,
but he could also be an
if you
empath.
convince yourself that you're helping people.
I was gonna say he could be an empath and he could think he's doing good, but like,
I don't know how many things do you do that truly help people that begin with, are you prepared to sustain this lie?
Right.
Like, I feel like that
it's like the
doesn't
Truman
go
Show.
well.
It's like the Truman Show in real life.
Yeah.
it's got to be a well-paying gig.
I mean, it better be, especially if in this company one person can only have 5 families at a
How
time.
do you balance that?
What if the guy comes into the boss and he's like, "Hey man, I think I'm ready for a 6th. I'm ready for a 6th family."
I've been employee of the month 3
I
months
have this
running.
perfect schedule with the Thompsons, the Johnsons, the Smiths.
Look, I'm a grandfather. I'm a father. I'm a cousin. I'm a husband.
I'm a lover.
husband. I'm a husband.
Yeah, exactly. I'm a dog. I'm ready to move on.
I'm the pet. It's. I need more. I need more.
I need more.
I need to be challenged.
All right, well, guys, we've way past the hour mark. But what a great episode this was. I'm
Really
sad
fun.
we lost Lee at the end there, but she'll be back, obviously. And I just want to say thank you all for listening to the podcast, and I also want to thank our sponsors, MeUndies and
Vincero.com.
And also I want to thank each and every one of the patrons and each and every one of the listeners
Our
and viewers.
real sponsors. Our OG.
Yeah, you guys are our lifeblood. You're helping us do this thing, and every day we're very thankful for you, and we really hope that you guys are enjoying the content we've been putting out so far, and just very excited for more to come.
Yeah, and if you guys are interested in helping support and coming on the journey with us, go to thevalleyfolk.com and consider becoming a patron. There's a bunch of perks and fun stuff.
Oh, and guess what's coming up? VidCon. VidCon's coming up, and fast. If you guys have gotten into if you tried to get into the lottery thing where you can meet us at a meetup, then I can't wait to meet you guys. And if you're just coming to VidCon just to visit, just to walk around and stuff, I'm sure you'll run into us because we always walk around and try to say hi to everybody and have a good time. But it would be really great to see a lot of your faces and sound off. If you're going to VidCon, tweet at us or post in the Patreon community somewhere and let us know. We'd love to see you.
And as we're growing and doing a bunch of stuff all over the place on the internet with this little Valley Folk experiment, go and follow our Instagram and our Twitter as well, because we're putting original content up on those as well.
Yeah.
Steve dropped a freaking hilarious trailer based off of our Slow It Down characters. From our YouTube
man!
sketch.
I worked really hard on those.
Yeah, that's on Twitter and Facebook.
They're just out there.
Yeah, not everything's going to be on YouTube and not everything's going to be on the podcast. You kind of gotta spread your wings and go to all these other places to get everything. But please do, because it's really funny.
Well, and also know that our Instagram stories and stuff will also feature a bunch of really fun behind the scenes stuff of us at the office and doing stuff together. And that's always fun.
All right, guys. Thank you very much. Well, you guys nailed everything.
I think we talked
If I were to
about
say
everything
something, it
we
would just be
talked
repeating what you said. So thank you.
about. Hey, you know what
well-
you can say? Look at that camera right there.
Hey.
Give him a nice little sexy look with those eyes. Give him a little bye.